All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media, and my name is Judson Powell. All right, so kind of just been sitting in the cut, like just listening to everybody, which is a lot of times like the best position that you really could be in. Um, because there's like a lot of BS and a lot of stuff that's going on right now. So, to just like be in a frenzy over everything that's going on is kind of dumb. Some observations though, they never go to black scholars and ask black scholars, what they think about what's going on in the world and what's going on with this situation or that situation. Somebody that actually has formulated a viewpoint, at least from the standpoint of academia, right? We have people with PhDs and we have people with master's degrees and we have people, who are practitioners clinically and otherwise, of knowing how to solve some of these problems and take care of some of the situations in the world. So we have to be cognizant of all of these things that are going on right now, simply because of the fact that a lot of it is determining, like, maybe I should say it like this, the survival of the fittest, or whoever can kind of like flow through the whole situation. I made a teaching about, time doesn't exist, but if you put yourself in a specific time, then what you're doing is you're limiting the universe's possibilities of what you can do, because there have been people, there's always exceptions to every rule. So, there's not 100%. Nothing is 100%, 100%, right? Nothing. So, there's always going to be somebody that was an exception to the rule, and a lot of times, a lot of people that are exceptions to the rules because of what you think here in your mind. So, the fact that they don't include black academia and a lot of this stuff, and the same thing was true with the ecumenical councils and all of these different things. That's why, think about it. We're right now we're like fighting over a fictitious, not historical but metaphorical, um, basically account of some people that probably never existed. It's kind of hard to trample, 40,000 people or 20,000 people or 10,000 people through someplace and not leave something. We're human beings. So you would have to, there would have to be some type of artifacts or something like that. Never been found though. Never, nobody ever was able to unearth anything that was of substantive value. And the things that they have shown us have been basically hoaxes or lies. So when we look at these things and we're thinking to ourselves like, okay, so all of this stuff is like hoaxes and lies. And now, do you believe they're really telling you the truth now? See, that's the thing. It's like, and that's why I say we're not in, that's not us in the Bible. That's not us. We're not, and before the 1940s, where was Israel? Where was the land of Hebrew? Where's the land of Jewish? Where's the land of, where were these places located? I mean, it's a thing that, those are real questions, and it's not hate inspired. It's just saying, well, how did all of this stuff take place? Just like in the books of Acts and things like that, there are people in there, and there's like, why are there no acts? Why are none of these things taking place in no place in Africa? So you mean to tell me that this great religion, but everybody went up through northern Africa, out of Africa, into what is now Portugal and Spain, et cetera, into Turkey and all of those areas up there, but never thought about going south. So there's no, just like there's letters to Corinth. Why? Well, so where is the letter to Ethiopia? It's not even, look, there's not even letters like that in the so-called lost books. So you mean to tell me that none of those people existed? Well, we know that they did. So no matter, and here's the thing, once again, we got to look at timelines. We have to look at timelines because we're talking about Nubia, between Nubia, Kush, and Kemet, right? Between Nubia, Kush, and Kemet, we're talking about at least maybe 50,000 years of actual history that has archaeological artifacts from every generation, has the biggest display of the whole thing with the pyramids and and the Sphinx, and and I'm using lay terms because I just want you to understand what I'm talking about. You understand? So that's the thing. So it's like, so what's going on, right? I mean, really, what's going on? So if you look at all of that stuff and you say, well, wow, and once again, by its own admission, the Bible is only 5,000 to 6,000 years old. Not that long. We have everything before, during, and after that time frame. We have artifacts from it. We have, there are there are graveyards. That's why we keep saying, they just dig us up. If I went to a Jewish cemetery and started to dig, it's like, oh, there's the guy that did this, there's the guy that did that. Ah. But you go and you dig my ancestors up. No big deal. Get over it. No big deal. Get over it. So that's, I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and then trying to tell everybody, like, look, you're not in that Bible. Because your ancestors were smart enough not to put you in there. And then the people that came behind them decided that they were going to change the whole thing anyway. And by the time it got down to where it was used to enslave our people and drive our people out of Egypt and out of northern Africa and all of these different, to all of these different places in the world. And once again, and I was telling people online, that the Bible is not historical. It is metaphorical, not history, metaphoric. And stolen metaphors at that. Stolen metaphors at that. Man, come on, y'all, think about it. You got to think about it. So most of the time when people say, oh, you acting white or you acting this way, you got to understand where you come from. They do. They understand where you come from more than you do. See, you're not a Hebrew, you're not an Israel, you're not an Israelite, you're none of that stuff. You know why? Because you are the God class. You're the God class. That's what you are. That's your thing. That's your assignment here on earth. To be a part of the God class. Cause see, okay, if Ra, son, if Ra is the God of this planet, right? And he does everything that he says he is. He shows up every day. He's faithful, right? Every day. Because one day when he doesn't show up, well, everybody's dead. You know, so the unseen, unknown, the things about, and I shouldn't have said he, the unseen, unknown, undefinable, most high. You know, and I apologize for making that slip up. But there's no defining, there's no definition, just the Most High. The only thing I can say, and the Most High is not even, you know, accurate for the entity that has brought forth everything, including myself. Whatever that be. Whatever that may be. So we have to understand that as these things start to change and take place before our eyes, we need to make sure that we understand what our purpose is and what our goals are. You know, we didn't do as well as we thought in the election. You know, because I was hoping that more of us would vote. You know, for Brother Warnock. Unfortunately, is I guess they're going to have a runoff, which shows you, which once again shows you just how far they are willing to go in order to keep power and control. I'll say that again. It shows you just how far they're willing to go in order to keep power and control over this bad boy. All right. Don't have no illusions or delusions or anything of that nature. Please. All right. Anyway, fast 15 minutes is up. That's it. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy, but it's the medicine they give me. Whatever, man. But all right. I love y'all. Hopefully as much as they love